Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss the featured news for today, 20th of December 2021. Today's featured news is on second demographic dividend. And before we get into understanding all the details about demography in India, around the world, what is this second dividend about? How is it going to help us? Let me welcome all of you to the conversation. All the people who are watching online and participating in the discussions. Pooja, good evening to you. Good evening and welcome. Hi Netra. Good evening Neha. Hi Chetanshi. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Hi Ashish. Good evening. And then we have Sam. Good evening to you as well. Babani. Good evening. Amlan. Good evening. Good evening to all you guys. Good evening and welcome. Yes, a relevant question. Tomorrow Shabir sir has a live session on YouTube and YouTube only provides one input for live sessions. So we will we will have Shabir sir speak on the current affairs related to Gazette, related to Cosmos at 6 p.m. Very interesting. He's a very, very senior person. We know him as one of the most adored teachers in the country. He will speak on the current themes that are relevant for geography and environment, right? Very relevant themes picked from the Cosmos magazine. This is on the event of 25 years of Cosmos. So we will give him that space tomorrow evening and we will have our Gazette discussion, current affairs discussion and the thematic discussion, feature news discussion immediately after. I hope that the session, each of the sessions won't be very long, right? Our session as well included, so that we try to compensate everything in a limited time to you. His session will begin at 6 o'clock. So let's hope that maybe if it gets over by 6:40, 6:45, we start immediately after, right? If this is all right, we will begin like that tomorrow evening and then we will complete all the articles, but yes, very quickly tomorrow. All right. So thank you for asking. I forgot this in the past video. Hi Amlan and good evening Tiyasha. All right. So let's begin. I again would like to thank Chetanshi for bringing up this issue. This is an important issue of, that she has mentioned, and we are definitely trying our best at our end. But yes, your inputs become even more valuable. They push us even better than before. All right, so let's start this conversation on second demographic dividend. Second demographic dividend. Why second? Why not the first? Because India is already passing through or almost has passed through the first demographic dividend. What is the meaning of dividend and how is it related to demography, right? If we understand these two things, we will easily understand what is the second one about, right? Second demographic dividend is called as a more valuable or sustainable dividend for any of the countries. So let us understand this, right? Now, by the way, do you people know what is the age bracket we are talking of when we talk of second demographic dividend? What is the age bracket? All right. This picture will make everything clear to you, right? We are talking of the elderly population because the government had initiated a new scheme, right? The scheme is now called as Rashtriya. There were quite a few schemes earlier, right? So Rashtriya Vayo Abhyuday Yojana, that was to distribute physical aid to people who are elderly, right? Aid like chashma, like spectacles, like hearing aid, like the people who are physically disabled, for them these artificial limb, right? So all of them would be distributed under Rashtriya Vayo Abhyuday Yojana. Sensitization of people would be done, right? Everybody in society in awareness, right? Awareness campaigns, and also channelizing CSR fundings. These were all different schemes, right? For generating a silver economy, and all of them have been now put in a scheme called as Atal Vayo Abhyuday Yojana. Atal Vayo, elderly population. Vayo means elderly. Abhyuday Yojana. Earlier we had National Action Plan for Senior Citizens, and now it has been renamed as a scheme which is an umbrella scheme covering many aspects, right? In this context, we will understand the whole concept of demographic dividend, not only for the elder population, also what is about the younger population, right? So let us quickly understand this, right? So this is about the elderly population, right? Now, what happens is that any economy, any country goes through the phases of demographic transition. Earlier, whenever the technology is not advanced, human education, medicine is not advanced, the economies go through a phases or through a phase where there is higher birth rate. People are not aware. Contraceptives are not available. This has happened throughout the world. And higher death rate also. Higher death rate because there are no medical aids, there is less vaccination, there is less protection against diseases. So this has been the time when birth rate is also high. Each family will have 5, 7, 8 children, siblings, and many of them will also die very early, right? This is the first age. When the society goes through a transformation where there is development of science and technology, then the death rate suddenly starts to decline. See, this is the birth rate and this is the death rate. It declines because of the presence of medicine, because of increasing longevity, because there is good amount of food available to eat. Because of this, the death rate declines, but the birth rate still is relatively high, right? And this is also about industrial participation, right? And as more industries are there, you know, there is better industrial revolution in that particular place. Slowly and steadily, there is a place where the death rate, it almost stabilizes. It goes, the death rate goes very low, and the longevity, that means the lifetime, the life expectancy of the person increases. But it cannot increase phenomenally all the time, it almost stabilizes. And also there is a time when the birth rate also declines because of people's awareness, personal reasons, and the whole social, the milieu is such that the birth rate also declines. This is the third phase of the society. And then there is a fourth phase where the birth rate is also very low and death rate is also very low. The population almost stabilizes here. So you see, the population rises phenomenally in the second stage and the third stage. In the first stage, dying is also happening, so no particular rise in population. In the fourth stage, the birth is also not happening, dying is also happening slowly. But in the second and third phase, see, such a phenomenal growth in population. India has been going through this phase of demographic transition where there is drop in the birth rate now, but earlier drop in birth rate was not happening, and the death rate was almost, it was almost stagnant. So it was rising, the population was rising phenomenally. But now we have seen through National Family Health Survey that we have achieved total fertility ratio, TFR, of 2.0. This is called as replacement rate, population replacement rate. The population ahead in time will replace the population that we have. A mother has 2 kids, a male and a female. Male will not have, bear child. Female will bear a child. She will again bear 2 children, 1 female, 1 male. This female after 20, 25 years or maybe 30 years will bear another 2 children. So this is called as the replacement rate of the population. Now, the first demographic dividend. What is a dividend? Dividend is giving the benefits of the product that we have taken, right? So stock mein dividend ka matlab hota hai that yearly bonus is given to the person because they have owned that stock. So if it is for say 1000 rupees, they will be given, say example, 10 rupees of bonus or dividend only because the company did perform well. So this is like a bonus. Now demographic dividend matlab means people, there are people because of which we are receiving bonus. Why are we receiving, the whole society receiving bonus? It is because if we create population which is healthy, which is education wise healthy and wealthy, and who have got skill sets, this is a healthy capital, and they will participate in skill development, they will participate in economic activities. This will lead to better position of the whole society as a whole, right? This has happened in all the advanced countries. All these countries have gone through the same phase. India is also going through a similar phase. This is the first level of demographic transition where we are talking of demographic dividend. But this age also, the younger people also become old. Now this is India's population structure itself. Right now we have, this side, left side is the male population, right side is the female population. This has been taken from United Nations report for India 2020. This report is called as World Population Projects by UN Population Fund, right? So they say that, look at this. The age structure is such that we have a wider bottom, right? So many younger people right now, but very few people in the 80s and 90s. Slowly and steadily, the whole base will become shorter, and then there will be a wider pattern formed in the middle, right? See, this is how it will form. This is that of Thailand we are talking. This is Thailand in 1965, a very similar age pattern. This was taken from IMF's website. I have taken this wider, but with time, after 40 years, 50 years, this was the situation, narrower base, and then you see in late 50s, after 50 more years, this will be a further narrower base and huge population towards the elder age, right? This is what will happen to India also. Now, this is the time when we can capitalize on the younger population, working age population. But slowly and steadily, this dividend will go away. It will vanish. People will become elder. But will elder people be able to spend? No, not really. But yes, this is what the second demographic dividend talks about. It says that we will be able to spend also for the middle age or elder age people. Why? Because they have saved money for themselves. There could be an economy around that as well. What about their savings? They have saved for elder age. They have saved so that they could pass it on to their younger generation. They have saved so that, they have pension funds so that they could utilize this. But can we actually utilize this? Yes, it is a completely sustainable economy, because after a point of time, there will be lesser birth. The whole population structure will be in this format only. This is happening to Japan, this is happening to China, this is happening to European Union economies, this is happening to USA as well. So India will also go through a thing like this, but only if we have a huge amount of reserves, human capital here. This capital, human capital and economic capital, could be utilized for sustainable economic gains also, provided we start savings for them right now, because right now we are not in that structure. Right now we are in this structure. But if we save money for them right now, 30 years hence, they will be able to spend it. And this is called as silver economy, dear. Silver economy. Right? Silver economy. This is a sustainable economy. This is far more sustainable than this first demographic dividend. And that is why this becomes very, very important issue that we indulge in these kind of savings. So let us quickly understand. National Family Health Survey said total fertility rate of 2.0 has been achieved. Dependency ratio is also going to increase with time. What is dependency ratio? Dependency ratio is the proportion of people who are working to the total population of the country. Working means the age bracket 16 to 64. 16 to 64 by the total population of the country. Right? So elder population and younger population, they both are dependent on this working age population. Right now we have around 48% people, according to World Bank, who are this is the dependency ratio in our country, right? Rest of the people, 51+% people are they are dependent, and with time they will be more elders dependent than the younger persons. You agree with me, right? You guys agree? No, you are silent, but are you in agreement? Complete silence there. So if this is so, then they will be dependent on the younger population, and younger population will be not able to serve them, because their whole economy will be around consumption only. No, this will be around consumption when they are trying to help the elder age. Will this be about reinvestment? Will this be about savings? No, they will be able to spend only on their preceding generation, their parents. So if you do not want this to happen, if this happens, remember, if this happens, then saving and reinvestment will not happen, economy will not prosper. So if we generate an economy in which we are investing in pension schemes, in insurance schemes, in capital investment for future, there are other ways also. We'll discuss them. For example, one way is, if the person retires at the age of 60, why are we making them retire at the age of 60? Most of the scientists, many of the scientists, they start exploring inventions, the right inventions, maybe around 45, 50 and 60. And right, this is the age when DRDO retires its scientists officially. They cannot participate. But you see, most of the elder people are only the ones who get the Nobel Prizes. So point being, let us increase the age of participation of people in economy after their retirement as well. The same happened with my father. He is retired, but he's the most capable of his age right now. Of whatever he has done, he's the most capable right now. If they do this, they will still be able to participate in economy. See, so if we do this, we are creating a silver economy for the future, right? Now, economy is not about just creation of money. It is also about circulation of money. The same money which could be saved, if that money is utilized multiple times, the hot money is utilized, the value of money creates is multiple. So this will create an eco effect. What is the eco effect? Today, the you know what is like an echo. I shout and then the sound reverberates and comes to me again and again. This is what is going to create an echo effect, an important echo effect, and it will be a perennial nature, because this economy will keep sustaining. No, right now we do not have a silver economy in the country, but its potential is very high. Have we covered silver economy? Yes, we have covered in snapshots. So let me summarize that also here. India's silver economy right now is such that 10% people around are in the elder age bracket, 10%. And by 2050, we will have 20% people in this age bracket, or elderly population above 60 years of age. If the population is high, they will be, rendered in economic terms useless. But let's make them useful. Let us ensure that their economy also survives, right? So by giving them variety of products and services to enjoy. Very simple, no? This is required for the whole of the world, because the world population also is exceeding towards the elder age population. See, this global population above 65 years is right now around 9.3%. It will be 16%, almost double in 2050. See, so because of all this, we need this service in elder population age also, and this is called as second demographic dividend. It must be utilized. We should not get into demographic trap by not utilizing the elderly population economy. So this is the study of elderly population is called as gerontology, geriatrics, right? I have told this previously. And one good example of median age also, this is not most relevant, but yes, important. India, the median age is around 27 years, 28 years. In China, this age is 37 years, right? And in Japan, this is again 47 years, 48 years. This is Japan, this is China, and this is India, median age, right? Below this age, 50% people are lesser than this age, and above this particular age, 50% people exist. So you can well imagine we are still in the phase where we are transiting from the first demographic dividend. This has been said that we can utilize demographic dividend only if we have the human resource which are healthy, which have education, and which have skills. But do we have that? Whenever I am at a traffic light and I see a poor person begging, especially a child, I am reminded, what will this person do when they grow up? They have their complete life, 60-70 years ahead of them at least. And if they are not the human capital, they are going to be dependent population, right? On the government, on the economy, on everybody, taxpayers. So for this, what we require is that we treat the youngsters in a way that they are healthy, wealthy, and wise. But is government able to do that? No, not right now. So getting back to the news in focus, right? The editorial, the article for today, see, the article itself says that the elderly population is going to rise. Look at this level. Decadal growth in elderly population. Elderly population by 2021-2031 will have a phenomenal rise, but the general population will decline with time. Why? Because this is the population growth of general population, but elders will definitely rise because they are existent. No, they will not die in the middle ages. So also because medical facilities are improving, the longevity has improved, right? So this is the second demographic dividend we are talking of. We have understood the complete concept. If not, share it with me, right? So Chitanshi has something to say. She says, yes sir, we agree, China is already having high number of old people, and maybe therefore they are focusing on 3-child policy to have more youth. Absolutely Chitanshi. China had a 1-child policy also previously, but what do they do now? They are in a trap. Asim says, best example is of judges. They are so experienced at the time of retirement. Absolutely correct. There is a debate, sir, they shouldn't retire. Yes, not only judges, scientists, right? Researchers, all the capacities, teachers, right? So this is one of the reasons why we should exploit the elderly population age for their own development. This is called as the second demographic dividend, appearing for all the countries, right? But India, see, did India miss the first demographic dividend bus? Yes, if we give examples like this of the beggars, of people who are street vending and not being able to earn sufficient, we have missed the bus, almost missed the bus. But can we miss this bus of elderly? This is a sustainable economy. As I mentioned, this is an eco effect that we are creating. This is going to reverberate for times to come. We cannot miss this bus, right? This has been highlighted during times of COVID, when the elder population was left reclusive. Elder population There was nobody to care for them. These people would sustain on their own society. But if the people are left alone, the younger people will work, they will be left alone. And look at the special differentiation between males and females. Males have lesser longevity than females. This is naturally provided by the God. So they die 2-3 years younger to the females. The females do not have property on their names. The females do not have finances on their names. They have to sustain on their children. And if the children don't treat them well, then they're destitute females, right? We have spoken of Swadhar Grahano. So places for destitute females. So this is a major, highlighting issue which must not happen. What happens if we create an economy around this? Nothing happens. It is good for the whole country. I'm only talking of hot money, right? Money circulation is money good for everybody, right? So see, the things that indicate that we have a higher age population which is serving well is the population stabilizing, total fertility ratio declining, right? The proportion of economic activity being done by elders also is not bad. It is good. We will have 20%, see, 10% of population of 60 plus right now and 20% by 2050. How tough is it for you to remember, dear? Please remember this, please, right? So moving to literacy rates, they have only improved for both the genders, right? Only improved. Yes, there is a gender gap, but they have improved, right? Healthcare and medical facilities, this has improved. But if we do not cater to their needs, if we do not put them in the formal economy setup, then we are not harnessing this second demographic dividend, right? So how does it operate? There are two things one can do. Accumulate greater wealth for them and great investment in human capital. Accumulate the wealth right now. Do not get into consumption economy. Save that money and utilize it for human capital development. Develop middle-aged persons only. Develop them for learning some skills, because when they turn 16-65, they should not be rendered useless in society, right? One example that always comes to my mind, because my grandmother, she was the one who reared me very well. My mother was she's a working lady. So my grandmother kept me, with her, and she would carry me in her arms everywhere. So how I look at the elderly is, 3 generations. So this is the, grandfather or grandparents, and then these are parents, and this is the child. So when the parents are out for their work, these are the people who take care. And this is how the family gets integrated in an urban setup. This does not happen because in the urbanized lifestyle, people have urbanization is a new phenomenon in our country, right? So people shift to urban areas. Our parents shifted to urban areas. These people remained at these smaller towns or villages, and they find a huge cultural gap. They do not shift, and the children are rendered, groomed. They're not groomed as well. And because of this, there are multiple issues. There are issues with elder age also. Nobody takes care of them. They're more interested, but there's nobody to take care of them. They also cannot take care of anybody else. People have to hire, house help and people who can take care of children. They have to go to creche and other places. Children do not learn the family values. There are so many things, ethical issues and societal issues that come out of this less integration. So this is how I treat it as an integrated family culture. This is a culture that we had. We are moving towards nuclear culture, even away from family culture. So, but what is still required is to, even if it is happening, no problem, invest in those individuals, accumulate the wealth so that you don't consume it. So these are two important ways, right? So this leads to lesser dependency. This leads to better mental well-being for everybody. This leads to better wisdom and knowledge base, knowledge economy, right? The challenge is here. This is going to be a challenge for the government as well, because there are times when it will have to release extra pension services, right? It is a demand from the public exchequer, public fund, our own finances, right? There will be barriers in economy, as I mentioned, right? Societal barriers as well. So bundle of problems, right? So if the society is not harnessed, knowledge is not appreciated, this leads to societal barriers as well, right? High dependency ratio, we will have higher elder population, as I mentioned, dependent on the working population, right? And administrative challenges. Right now, we are not able to even handle 8% of elderly population. We are looking at handling 20% in the coming times. So these are the administrative real challenges that are present at this moment, okay? Very simple example. We are speaking of very good things for the examination, but look at elderly people. Are they even able to handle their smartphones well? Is there digital network available in their phones? No, it is not. So why are we looking at these kind of schemes? These are some criticisms, right? What is the way forward? Way forward is to ensure that wealth is saved, people are spending in capital, refurbishment of their own skills. Social risk pooling, this is also important. Social risk pooling, so in case some people fall in sudden trap of finances, issues with finance, social risk pooling also should happen. Social schemes, pension schemes, right? And then there should be access to financial systems. See, lifelong learning, this is also important. This is a keyword, lifelong learning. A person should not consider themselves as learnt. I have known everything. Civil ho gaya, civil service ho gaya, ab mere ko koi kuch nahi bolega. Nahi, no. After 60 years, what will you do? Right? There is no corruption happening that you will have that extra money. Pension also is there only for everybody, not for everybody. So we also should ensure that increase in retirement age is there more than 60 years. That example that you all mentioned, right? So here, what we did cover here today is centered around, let me summarize, around the second demographic dividend. Second demographic dividend. We covered some important data and stats, right? We covered that. We covered about how India's population is aging with time and what happens when aging happens. We also covered some important examples of Thailand and India. Do remember that demographic structure, right? Wide base and narrow base. You should be able to draw them in exams. We understood what are the impacts for this increase in age. It leads to a lot of ill effects in society, in personal life, in economy, and how that can be overcome, right? So that is most important. The issues, the benefits of doing the exact opposite of it, right? The reverberation, eco effect of the economy. You have to give examples through extra data that is presented to National Family Health Survey. And what are the issues that largely the society faces because of which we are not able to handle a thing like this, right? So we covered the second demographic transition. If you go through an article like this, if you go through a conversation like this, themes like this will get covered for you. You will not have to dar nahi bhatakna padega editorials or idhar padhne ke liye. You will understand this important theme. That is why I ask you to participate every day in conversations. Bring your own thoughts. We will be able to enrich each other, right? So the question for today is, the second demographic dividend can create intergenerational benefits if capitalized well. Do you agree? The second demographic dividend can create intergenerational benefits if capitalized well. Discuss. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. You will not start by saying yes, it can. It is a discuss point. You have to present both the sides. So you start with some data that yes, the population is aging with time. In coming 30 years, we'll have 20% of the elder population, and then you point out the issues, the benefits in discussion, and towards the end, you will also point out the issues. What are the issues that we are facing? Issues, we have not increased the retirement age. Issues, we have ensured that the elder population is not enriching their life and skills. Issues, we are not having the administrative capacity for 8%, we are talking for 20%. There are multiple issues you should be able to point out, and this is what will ensure that your answer on silver economy, on geriatrics, it gets completed. Very important. Very important when we talk about social issues. So see, this covers paper 1 aspect also. Paper 1 is society. Paper 2 is social justice. It covers that aspect as well. Vulnerable sections, government schemes. And then we have paper 4. Paper 4, ethics. Give the case from here. Give a case from here. This is how we'll be able to cover a lot of things if we talk about a theme like this, right? So let me read some important comments. Yes, comments are not there. I would like to ask you to bless us through your likes, comments, and shares. If you subscribe to the channel, you will receive timely updates for such interesting videos. Tomorrow, do remember, Shabir sir will take the class at 6 p.m. on current themes that are important, relevant from Cosmos. And after that will be the current affairs and the feature news video, right? So do show some love through likes, comments, and shares. I will see all of you tomorrow evening, right? Asim says, sir, what is soft power? As it's given in the article today, The Hindu regarding US strategy of Asia pivot. All right. Thank you, Amlan. Thank you, Bhavani. Soft power, hard power. There are two kinds of power that the country is present in international diplomacy. The soft power relates to culture. It relates to language. It relates to people-to-people exchange. Track-free diplomacy. Track-free diplomacy. This is where I would like to mention what soft power is here with an example. India has a soft power in USA through its diaspora. India has a soft power in Middle East also through its diaspora, right? And those countries are changing their laws, norms, culture, to adjust Indians there. This is the soft power that we have. On the other hand, what is hard power? Hard power is the example of China, where China is not ready to adjust culturally. China has its military, its economic sanctions on which it resides to fulfill its diplomatic goals. But on the other hand, there are countries which have softer power. They fulfill their diplomatic goals through engagements, through conversations, through cultural exchanges, through linguistic exchanges, people to people ties. Very good example of the soft power that countries share is that of India and Russia, right? India-Russia friendship treaty ensured that India and Russia have the bilateral participation of their dance troops. There are news which are read in Russian language in India, and there are news read in Indian language in Russia. Similarly, many of the movies that Indian film stars make, they're popular in Russia. Not only that, there are some religious groups, which Indian religious groups, ISKCON is a good example. They are very much popular in a place like Russia. This is soft power, right? Hard power, as I explained, is through economic interventions, through military interventions, through that kind of conversation, right? So this is the answer, Asim. Thank you, Babani. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Chitanshi. Thank you, Netra. No worries. You can ask questions. If I know, I will be able to answer. But if I don't know, I will definitely get back to you. Thank you, Jyotish. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Ravi. Sir, we'll see Shabir sir after a long time. Privileged. Shabir sir is a big man. We will have him. You all will watch him today, right? Asim, welcome very much. I will see you all guys tomorrow evening after Shabir sir's video, right? So please do prepare notes. Remember the formula, ADEC formula. Thank you, Tiasha. Through analysis, through keywords, data, case studies, and through examples. This is how you will succeed. Take everything in, but only process the right thing out of your mind, right? I will see all of you tomorrow evening for the current affairs and a feature news video. Thank you for watching.